Have you noticed what Caitlin Clark did recently? She made a statement in addition to defeating Cheryl Reeve's team. With her performance being so outstanding, people started to question how Clark could not be on the Olympic team. Let's now analyze what specifically made Clark's performance so astounding. Was it really that impressive? Is probably what you're wondering. So grab a seat because we're going to delve right into the statistics and highlights that took everyone by surprise. Let's talk about stats first. Clark was more than just a presence. She ruled. She's fast rising to the top of the league's feared players list, as evidenced by her incredible stat line. However, it goes beyond the figures. It's very astounding how she managed to obtain them. Do you recall the long-range explosives I mentioned? Clark was making defenders guard her almost at half court as she was dishing them out from well beyond the arc. And when they did, her first steps would be as swift as lightning, blowing past them. She appears to be playing chess when everyone else is engaged in checkers. This is where things become really fascinating though. One person called Clark's game vision out of this world, since he makes plays that are invisible to others. She was slicing passes through incredibly small gaps and connecting with teammates she had no idea were available. People have been comparing her to some of the greatest players of all time because of her court awareness. The fact that Clark's intelligence is advancing her entire staff is even more remarkable. Players like Alea Boston dominating in the paint and Kelsey Mitchell scoring more points are what we're witnessing. Not only is there the Clark show, but there's also the Clark effect, which makes everything around her more enjoyable. Okay, but how does she stack up against the league's best is probably what's on your mind right now. Let me tell you, for a rookie, Clark is already leading the league in assists and ranking among the top scorers. Not only is that good, but it's also good historically. We're talking about a rookie who becomes one of the league's finest players right away, and however, Clark's capacity to alter the game is what really makes her stand out. To contain her, entire defenses are having to rework their plans. Even coach Cheryl Reeve likened this time to the NBA's arrival of Magic and Bird. That's the kind of effect that we are discussing. We've watched Clark's game change as the season has gone on. She is depending on more than just her amazing passing and shooting. She's getting better at reading opponents, making more intelligent plays with the ball, and even getting better at defense. It's like seeing the birth of a celebrity in front of us, and not to be overlooked is the effect off the court. Arenas are now sold out whenever Clark appears. Her football shirt completely sold out everywhere. The league is being electrified by her intensity, which isn't just impacting her team. Well, Clark had a great game, but what did Cheryl Reeve really think is perhaps what's on your mind. Prepare yourself, for Reeve's post-game remarks will wow you. Set the setting, please. Reporters are swarming Reeve now that the game is finished, wanting to know what she thinks. Recall that this is the coach of the USA Olympic team, not just any coach. The same coach that passed on Clark's Olympic selection. Everyone therefore leans in when Reeve speaks, and my goodness, she had a lot to say. Reeve did more than simply commend Clark. She also made comparisons to some of the greatest players in basketball history. Yes, you did indeed hear that. Clark's entry into the WNBA, according to Reeve, is comparable to the NBA debuts of Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. That's legendary status, not simply great acclaim. Reeve didn't stop there though. She emphasized that Clark is the cause of the WNBA's sold-out events. Consider that for a moment. In her debut season, a rookie is packing venues. People, that isn't normal. Star power is that. Even further, Reeve stated that Clark is changing the face of the game. Give that some thought. According to the Olympic coach, a novice is revolutionizing the entire sport. It's not just about her on-court abilities, it's also about how she forces opposing teams to radically alter their strategies. And you may be asking yourself, why does Reeve's opinion matter so much? Now keep in mind who Reeve is. She is the Olympic coach, thus her remarks are quite important. The basketball world pays attention to her words. She's talking about Clark as if she's the newest and greatest thing in women's basketball right now. What does this entail for Clark's future then? It's enormous. In essence, Reeve's remarks are a neon light that flashes to indicate that we might have made a mistake leaving her off the Olympic team. It seems as though Reeve is providing Clark with a pathway to his Olympic aspirations. However, it goes beyond the Olympics. Reeve is nearly yelling from the rafters about how important it is for the WNBA to capitalize on the Clark phenomenon. She claims that Clark is providing the league with a fantastic chance to develop and gain greater recognition. Consider it. Imagine what Clark could accomplish as she gained more experience if she could already make such an effect as a rookie. For years to come, we might be observing the state of women's basketball. After witnessing Clark's astounding performance and Reeve's astounding response, let's address the major issue at hand: Clark's Olympic snub. Why in the first place wasn't this budding talent selected for Team USA? Basketball fans are asking this topic non-stop, and in light of what we just seen, it's even more perplexing. Clark's name was absent from the Olympic roster when it was revealed. Many were taken aback. How could they omit a player who has been a rookie sensation in the WNBA? It's not as though Clark appeared overnight. In college basketball, she was already creating waves, breaking records, and drawing attention. What then goes wrong? Some, however, contend that experience was a major factor. Veterans with a track record of success are frequently given preference on the Olympic team. The truth is, though, Clark isn't your average rookie. She is among the league's best scorers and leads the league in assists. That's all-star level play, not beginner stuff. Some claim that fit and team chemistry are important. To be honest, though, have you seen Clark perform? Her vision for the court is great. She improves everyone in her vicinity. Isn't that precisely what you look for in a member of the Olympic team? Let's now discuss what Clark could have contributed to Team USA. Her long-range shooting is ludicrous to start with. We are discussing half-court shots that find the net. A danger like that spreads out the defense and makes the entire court vulnerable. And her demise? She seems to have eyes in the back of her mind. With Olympic-caliber talent all around her, just think of what she could accomplish. But it goes beyond mere aptitude. Clark also contributes star power to the discussion. Everywhere she travels, arenas are filled with her. She exudes a contagious vitality. Just picture the Parisian crowd. If Clark took the court, electricity would be involved. This is when the exciting part starts. Diana Taurasi is one of the two injured players on Team USA at the moment. It's a significant gap to cover, and who better to fill in than the WNBA's newest hot player? After seeing her act, Reeve herself made hints that she could reconsider include Clark. She stated, "Clark is changing the face of the game." That's not simply flattery. That's a coach acknowledging she might have erred. What are your thoughts then? Had Clark joined the Olympic team at the outset? Is it premature to introduce her on the global scene? The argument is already heated, and it will only get hotter in the wake of Clark's most recent performance. There's no denying that excluding Clark from the Olympic team appears to have been a mistake. This is about more than just a talented player. We are discussing a person who has the ability to completely change women's basketball worldwide. However, Clark's influence extends beyond the courtroom. Have you noticed a recent shift in the energy in WNBA arenas? Clark seems to be riding the crest of an excitement wave that is sweeping the league. Let's discuss the activities that take place off the court. Sales of tickets are soaring. Arenas are filled whenever the Indiana Fever plays. It goes beyond only at-home contests. The Fever and Clark become the hottest ticket in basketball when they visit the city. Everyone knows that the reason our teams around the league are having sellouts is because Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever are coming to town, noted Cheryl Reeve. It's significant that the Olympic coach said that. However, it goes beyond simply packing seats. People who've never even watched a WNBA game before are being influenced by Clark. Is it true that a 90-year-old woman went to her first WNBA game solely to see Clark play? That is the type of draw that we are discussing. Not to be overlooked is the products. Clark's football shirt? Good luck in your search for one. More quickly than Clark's three-pointers, they are flying off the shelf. It's evident that people want to be a part of the Clark phenomenon rather than merely observe. Let's focus on the Indiana Fever right now. Recall their previous season's location, absolute lowest, but since Clark arrived, everything has been altered. There's a newfound confidence in the club. They're winning more games and their scoring is up, and it goes beyond Clark's unique genius. Her colleagues are benefiting from her enthusiasm and playing style. Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell are two athletes who are improving. Once a bottom-dwelling team, the Fever are now a must-watch basketball team. This is the truly thrilling part, though. Clark's influence might extend well beyond the WNBA. We may be able to expand women's basketball around the world. Her entrance is being compared by some to the NBA debuts of Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. That's transforming the entire sport, not just a squad or a league. What does this, in your opinion, portend for women's basketball going forward? Is Clark the player who can push it to the next level? Although she is still in her early career, there are indications. There's no denying that Clark is elevating the bar for the entire league. All of her actions, playing games, bringing in fans, selling jerseys, combine to create something greater. Not only is this athlete exceptional on the court, but he has the ability to completely change the sport. Thus, keep in mind that this is about more than just one player having a fantastic season the next time you see a sold-out Clark jersey or a stadium full of people. This has to do with women's basketball's future, and that future appears more promising than ever if Clark continues on this path.